Welcome to C programming tutorial. This tutorial is a continuation of the previous tutorial about the switch statement. In the previous tutorial we learned about the syntax of switch statement and we used it in a very simple example. In this tutorial we are going to basically do a little bit more complicated example, a relatively more practical example of what the switch statement can do. Again, if you are actually if you came here from Facebook page, I would recommend that you become the fan of the Facebook page. The page name is Awesome C Programming Tutorials in High Def. And if you actually are watching it on YouTube, you just basically subscribe to this channel Learnorama, and so that you can basically be notified of any new tutorials as soon as they are posted by me. Anyway, so let's get started. So in this particular example, what we are going to do is we will write a simple program where we will ask user to enter two numbers, for example, and then we will create like a menu to give the user an option to basically either enter either add those two numbers, or subtract, or multiply, whatever the user wants to do. So let's see. So first, let's see what the output should look like. What we think that the output should look like. So maybe it should say something like, to get the values of two numbers, it should say something like enter first number. Okay, and then we enter some number, and then it says enter second number. Then we enter some second number, and then it creates a kind of a menu here. Press 1 for addition, press 2 for subtraction, press 3 for multiplication. Enter your choice. Okay, and then user presses either 1, 2, or 3, and if it's a mischievous user, you might press something else, and we need to handle that also. Okay, and then we basically, whatever the user presses, suppose user pressed 1, we basically say the result is the whatever the sum of first and second number that user entered here. Okay, so very simple. So let's get started. So what do we do first? We print this message, right? We print this message, and then we ask user to enter a number. So again, we are talking about number, so %d, okay, for number, ampersand num1, okay, that would be our first number. Then we do the same thing with the second number, scanf %d, comma, ampersand num2. And what am I forgetting? I am forgetting to declare those variables that I've been using, the num1 variable and num2 variable. So let's declare those here. Int num1, int num2. Okay, and then we ask the user to basically, we print this out. Okay, press 1 for addition, press 2 for subtraction, okay, press double quotes. So what does this \n do? Yes, it takes the cursor to the next line. Remember, we want to print each of these messages in the next new line, right? So that's what it does. So print f, enter a choice. Okay, so where the choice is gonna go? Choice is gonna go into some other variable. Let's call it choice, and let's declare it int choice. Okay, and then what are we gonna do? Now we are gonna do some processing. Now we have input everything that we need to input, whatever we need to get from the user, and now we are going to enter our do some processing. What do we have to do processing? Processing we need to do is based on the choice, the value of choice, which could be 1 or 2 or 3. We will either add num1 and num2 if the user pressed 1, if the value of choice is 1, or subtract num2 from num1, or multiply num1 and num2 together based on this input. So see, based on the value of choice, we have to do different things. So what do we use? We use switch statement. Okay, and then case number 1, when the user pressed 1. So what do? We have to add these two numbers. So num1 plus num2. Okay, and where do we store it? The result of this thing needs to be stored somewhere. So let's call that variable result, and let's not forget to declare that variable. So as you use the variables, don't forget to declare them. And if you remember, next thing you have to write is break. And then case 2, if the user entered 2, we have to do subtraction. So what do? Result equal to num1 minus num2. Then break again. And then case 3, if the user enters 3, we need to multiply these two together. Okay. Now what if user did not enter 1, 2 or 3, he entered something else? So what do? How do we capture that? We write default. Okay. By default, the result would be 0. No result, basically. Okay. And then we can also actually print a message saying invalid choice, so that the user knows that he has done something, he or she has just done something wrong. Okay. So at this point we have the value of result in the variable result. What do? We print the result is %d. Okay, result, right? Very simple. We just print the value of result, and this is how you print the value of result. The result is %d, which means that there will be a number here, \n, which means go to the next line. And what number we are going to print here? The value of this result that we computed in this switch statement based on the value of choice, whatever the choice user made. So let me press F9 to compile and run it. So here we go. We are running this program now. So oops. So look at this. It's saying enter first number. So let's enter 2. Enter second number. Let's enter 3. Now it's giving a menu here. Press 1 for addition, press 2 for subtraction, press 3 for multiplication. So let's see if we can get it to add. So we press 1. So the result is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Ta-da! Very simple. Okay, let's run it one more time. Here we go. So let's enter some numbers here. 3, 4. Press 1 for addition, press 2 for subtraction, press 3 for multiplication. Let's say subtraction 2. The result is -1 because it subtracted 4 from 3. See, second number gets subtracted from the first number, and the second number is bigger than the first number, so it says -1. Right? Let's run it one more time, and this time we are going to enter a wrong choice. So let's see, 2, 4. And 1, 2, 3 for addition, subtraction, multiplication respectively. Let's enter something, none of those. Okay, let's enter 4 here, or maybe 10. So what does it say? Invalid choice. The result is 0. So it did not compute the result. It's invalid choice. I misspelled invalid, so it's showing a wrong message. So you get the point. So this is how you use switch statement. So keep watching the tutorials. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to rate 5 star if you like the tutorial. Thank you so much. Bye.